My brothers and sisters, what is going on, everybody? Still sermon in the house on this Friday morning, and that's right, it is Friday morning, which means if you're watching this video, I am now officially moved into my condo. So my move-in happened, and I am now at my new place, and as I'm recording, I'm all nestled in and getting settled in. Everything's being moved. I'm officially moved in. So I just kind of figured at the old place, one last venting hour before I hit the road. But not much to recap with the 2022 Pirates, and I know I haven't made a Pirate video in a long time because I haven't even watched a Pirate game since the Red Sox series. I haven't tuned into a Pirate game since the Red Sox series, and for good reason. I mean, this franchise is just a complete and utter embarrassment, and, you lose 100 games in back-to-back seasons. Like, seriously, 100 games in back-to-back seasons, and thank God that Wednesday was the last game of the season, because I don't know how much more of this I can subject myself to. I mean, I really don't. There are no, this is like the worst season I've ever seen the Pirates have, and it seems like I say that every year about this franchise. It never ends, and it's never gonna end as long as we continue to have this clown, Derek Shelton, as manager, and it looks like that's going to be the case because he's coming back next year. I mean, I really don't know what else to do. I can sit here and I can ramble and I can rage and I can get mad all I want, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to change. It really isn't. And I know people are going to, down in the comments section, are going to be like, oh, well, Steel Sermon, the Kansas City Royals, they didn't make the playoffs for 30 years, and the Seattle Mariners, they just made the playoffs for the first time in 21 years, so it can happen with the Pirates. Listen, I don't give a horse's ass about the Kansas City Royals and the Seattle Mariners. What I care about is this franchise. And this is a franchise that has now had 26 losing seasons since 1992. 26 losing seasons. And I'm telling you, I see a lot of Pirate fans throwing in the towel with this rebuild, and deservingly so. Because I have not seen any progress from this front office whatsoever. So, yeah, Ben Cherington, great bang-up job by Ben Cherington. I mean, 3 years as the GM for this franchise, and all 3 years we finished in last place. And now, for the first time, I believe since the 1950s, if I'm not mistaken, this franchise has lost 100 games in back-to-back seasons. Derek Shelton, he's the first manager in the history of this franchise to have 100 losses in back-to-back seasons. And yet somehow this guy's going to come back for next year. Well, Steel Sermon, he had no talent to work with. I am so sick of that argument. I'm so sick of that. It doesn't matter who Derek Shelton has or doesn't have. This guy could mess up with a core that features Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Derek Jeter, and let's say Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina. You get the point. This guy has no talent as a manager at all. He never puts anyone in the same lineup. This guy's batting hot. Let's bench him for tonight. Oh, this guy's been on a tear lately. Let's sit him for 2 games. Oh, this guy is hitting, 190 and he struck out in 50 plate appearances. Let's put him at the top of the order. Oh, our starter who can't throw strikes and can't retire a side in order and has walked his last 3 batters and hits a batter, let's give him 6 innings tonight. this guy just is pitching a gem and he just gave up a home run on one bad pitch. Let's go to the bullpen. This guy is an idiot. He never learns how to use the bullpen. He really doesn't know how to do anything. And that's why I've given up on the rebuild. You can say things like, oh, Miguel Andujar, oh, J1 Bay, oh, Neil Cruz. Does it really make a difference? Because I keep saying it over and over again. In June, this team was 24-28. And since then, we went 38-62. Or 38-72, I'm sorry. 38-72 since that 24-28 record, coming off a sweep of the Dodgers in LA. And you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe the rebuild is getting closer to being done than we think. Maybe we just need to give them a little bit more time. There was a winning formula when that was happening. We were getting base hits, we were getting men on, we were being patient at the plate, we were even pitching well, and we were even finding ways to win games. There was a winning spark with that streak right there. And it just went away. Because you keep putting in Josh Van Meter in the lineup, and you put in Kevin Padlo, whatever the hell his name is. This franchise just continues to be just a complete and utter embarrassment. I mean, it's one thing to be a bad franchise, but to be a bad franchise and have people constantly just butter you up and sugarcoat everything for you, that's also a slap in the face. I mean, why can't you guys just come on out here and say, you know what, this team just sucks? Like I said in one of my Steeler vids, this is the reason why content creators of the fans on YouTube are so much better than the media, because we will tell it like it is with the team. The media, they have to butter everything up and make it seem like it's not all that bad, when in reality they know damn well it is. I really hate what this franchise has become. How much longer do we have to wait before this rebuild is over with? How much longer do we have to wait and see what these players bring to the table? How much more experimenting do we have to do? How much longer is it going to take before teams look at us on the schedule and say to themselves, oh man, we got to play the Pirates. That's going to be a tough game. Those are 3 tough games right there. We got to give it our all against them. Because I'm telling you, teams see us on the schedule and they laugh. They go like, oh wow, we play the Pirates. Those are 3 easy wins right there. I'm tired of seeing other teams in the league just get better. I mean, they all go through a little bit of a low, but they all get better. Seen it with the Braves, seen it with the Mets, seen it with the Phillies, the Brewers, recent years, the Cubs, Padres, Blue Jays, Rays, Guardians, White Sox, Astros, the Baltimore Orioles, who won 83 games this year when everyone thought that they'd be one of the worst teams in baseball again. Sure, Baltimore didn't make the playoffs, but you know what? They got a bright future for themselves. I'm tired of seeing other teams just get better. And meanwhile, where are we? Bottom of the barrel, laughing stock of the friggin' league. Well, you know what? Bob Nutting? Why don't you all just do us a favor? Why don't you just go down to Virginia Beach or wherever you're from and take your hundreds of millions of dollars and just bury your friggin' head in the sand? Because you're the worst owner in sports. You see what you did to this franchise? You took one of the most proud and prolific franchises in baseball, and you have made them into an absolute sham. And it ain't getting better anytime soon. Ben Cherington, I'm done with you. I've given you 3 years, and I'm done with you. I see no progress with this rebuild at all. But you DFA a guy like Michael Chavis, right? For absolutely no reason at all. Oh, let's get Daniel Vogel back at the beginning of the season and then just dump him, mid-season. Let's get Jose Contreras to provide veteranship for the rotation, and then let's just trade him at the deadline for more of your valued prospects. This guy has no clue what he's doing. I'm tired of rebuilding, and I'm tired of using that excuse. And that's why I've given up on the rebuild. It was always a dream of mine to celebrate a Pirates World Series championship with my grandma and granddad. May God rest his soul. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. My grandma, I don't know how much more longer she has to live. And it ain't gonna happen. She's old. She was around for 3 of the 5 Pirates World Series titles. And my grandpa, he passed away over summer. It's just embarrassing, man. It's just completely and utterly embarrassing. I don't know when it's going to end. Every time you think that this franchise just can't fall lower, they fall lower. And I'm honestly dreading when opening day starts, because I'm telling you, this time next year I'm going to be sitting down and saying the same thing about this team. Nothing's going to change. We will not go anywhere unless, as long as Derek Shelton is the manager. It's not even worth it anymore. But that's all I got for my video. Just a final vent and a final rant about the 2022 Pirates. And that's it. Steel Sermon, checking on out. May God be with you all.